I tested 15 self-improvement habits on myself like a lab rat with a vision board, and what happened next was borderline insane. Habit number 1, make the bed. I used to think making the bed was just for people who had their lives way too together, but then I tried it. First for a week, then a month, and now it's something I do every single day. Making your bed isn't about being neat, it's about proving to yourself within 5 minutes of waking up that you're capable of following through. It's the first micro win of the day, and those micro wins stack into macro discipline. Because once the bed is made, skipping the gym feels almost criminal, leaving dishes in the sink feels wrong, and the best part is later in the day when you walk past that made bed, it quietly says you showed up for yourself today. Small fix, huge win. Habit number 2, Bible reading and prayer. Before opening TikTok or YouTube, I opened the Bible. Just 10 minutes, sometimes longer, sometimes just one verse that hit so hard I had to sit in silence and reflect. Then I prayed. Some mornings it was gratitude. Other mornings it was me literally saying, "Lord, I don't have it today, please help." That habit grounded me in a way cold showers never could, because life will punch you in the face. And the question is, what were you anchored to before the hit came? Scripture gave direction, prayer gave peace. Habit number 3, wake up before the world. Waking up at 9 sounds fine until you realize you're already starting your day 3 hours behind your future self. I used to roll out of bed late, instantly overwhelmed, already reacting to a day I hadn't even prepared for. I'm not saying you need to wake up at 5 a.m. to run miles or do burpees. I'm just saying wake up before the noise. That pure silent window in the morning feels like a clean slate, and honestly, it's addictive. Habit number 4, phone-free walks. This one felt weird at first. I'd go outside with no phone, no music, no podcast, just me, the trees, and maybe a squirrel staring at me like it knew all my secrets. At first, my brain was glitching, reaching for a phone that wasn't there, but then something crazy happened. Somewhere on that walk, ideas surfaced and thoughts untangled. Some of my best video concepts and moments of clarity didn't come from books or podcasts. They came 15 minutes into a quiet walk. So leave the AirPods, walk with your thoughts, and maybe not at the squirrel. Habit number 5, the deep work hour. This didn't just change how I worked, it changed who I was when I worked. I call it the deep work hour, and it's not about working longer, it's about working like your soul's on a deadline. Before, I'd waste 5 hours pretending to work. Now I block one single focused hour where distractions are illegal. And here's the shocker, I get more done in that 1 hour than I used to in an entire distracted afternoon. Try this and you'll be shocked at how productive you really are. Habit number 6, lift heavy weights. I am not a gym bro, I don't own pre-workout, and I've never screamed let's go mid-rep. But there is something primal and almost therapeutic about walking into a room full of heavy objects and deciding you're strong enough to pick them up. At first I lifted like I was still trying to impress the ghosts of my high school insecurities, but after a while it stopped being about looks, it became about focus, power, and discipline. Lifting taught me how to show up when I didn't feel like it, how to push when it hurt, and how to respect the process. It's one of the best ways to build physical and mental strength at the same time. Habit number 7, hydration. This one feels like a cheat code. You ever have one of those days where you're moody, unfocused, or just exhausted? Sometimes you're not heartbroken, you're just dehydrated. I started chugging 20 ounces of water first thing in the morning, keeping a bottle with me everywhere like it was part of my nervous system. Your brain is basically a sponge that runs on electricity. No water, no function. Once I got serious about hydration, everything changed. Mental fog cleared, energy crashes disappeared, and even my skin and recovery improved. Now I treat water like a performance enhancer because it is. Habit number 8, read 10 pages. Not tweets, not Reddit threads, actual books with actual page numbers. At first, 10 pages didn't seem like much, but over time those small chunks added up. One chapter here, one chapter there, and suddenly I was thinking in long-term ideas instead of reacting like a squirrel on espresso. 10 pages a day is 300 pages a month. That's a full book. Do that for a year, that's 12 books. Do it for 3 years. That's basically an unofficial degree in not being mediocre. Reading rewired the way I thought and made me crave growth instead of TikTok reels. Habit number 9, journaling. Some days journaling felt like therapy. Other days it looked like messy nonsense, but it worked. Journaling isn't about writing something profound, it's about writing something true. It's the daily practice of dumping your mental junk drawer onto paper. I'd start out stressed, confused, spiraling, and by the end of one page, things felt lighter, like I had just argued with myself and finally won. Journaling forced me to be honest, self-aware, and to face things I usually avoided with distractions. It didn't make life perfect, but it made my mind clearer. Habit number 10, keep one promise to yourself. Most people don't realize this, but your entire life is built on how often you keep your own word. And it doesn't have to be huge, just something small like, don't check Instagram before 10 a.m., drink one bottle of water before coffee, or clean your room before gaming with friends. Every time you keep that promise, you prove to yourself that your words mean something even when no one is watching. That builds what I call inner gravity, that quiet pull toward your best self. But if you keep breaking your own promises, your brain stops believing you. You procrastinate, you second guess, and suddenly it's October and you're still saying, I'll start Monday. Keep one promise. That's where self-trust begins. Habit number 11, cold showers. Look, I hated this one, but it worked. Stepping into freezing water first thing in the morning feels like you're volunteering for torture. But here's the thing, once you've done it, the rest of the day feels easier. Cold showers are like training wheels for courage. Every time I forced myself under that water, I was proving I could step into discomfort and survive. It rewired my stress response, taught me resilience, and gave me this quiet confidence, like if I can handle ice water at 6 a.m., I can handle that meeting, that rejection, that challenge. Habit number 12, practice gratitude. Not the fake kind where you list 3 things just to check it off, but the real kind where you actually feel it. I started writing down moments, people, or even little things like sunlight through my window or the smell of coffee. Gratitude flips your brain from scarcity to abundance, from what's missing to what's already enough. And when you live in that mindset long enough, it's like life starts handing you more reasons to be grateful. Habit number 13, minimalist living. I didn't throw everything away and move into a white box apartment, but I did start questioning why I owned so much. Clothes I never wore, gadgets I didn't need, clutter that drained me without me noticing. The less I owned, the lighter I felt, and the more energy I had for the things that actually mattered. Minimalism wasn't about having less, it was about making space for more clarity, more focus, more peace. Habit number 14, embrace silence. This one was unsettling at first. No music, no podcasts, no background noise, just silence. It felt awkward, even haunting, but then it became addictive. Silence is where your brain does the heavy lifting, where your subconscious untangles problems, and where you actually hear yourself think. In a world that's allergic to quiet, silence is like a superpower. Habit number 15, protect your inputs. What you feed your mind becomes the architecture of your thoughts, your decisions, your future. At one point, I was binging junk content, scrolling endlessly and wondering why I felt anxious and unmotivated. Then I cleaned my feed, deleted apps, unfollowed negativity, and guarded my mind like it was sacred ground. Suddenly, my mood, my focus, and even my creativity leveled up. Protect your inputs and you protect your future self. These 15 habits didn't just change my routine, they rewired my existence. Not overnight, not with fireworks, but quietly, consistently in the shadows of daily discipline. One day you wake up and realize you are not the same person you were last year, and that's the haunting beauty of it. Change whispers before it roars.